We've arrived in Tonopah. Lots of abandoned places in history here. Just walking down the lonely streets of Tonopah looking for anything I can get my hands on historic or abandoned, like these two houses, to photograph. We'll elaborate more on the history tomorrow. We just arrived tonight, so I'm just walking around photographing and giving everyone a little bit of an inside look of what Tonopah is about. One of the most haunted hotels in the state of Nevada is the Mizpah, haunted by the lady in red and other ghosts. Pretty cool. Floor Rick of the Paranormal Ghost Society. We've arrived in Tonopah, as I was saying. You guys got to see a short clip of me down one of the creepy alleyways or back streets of Tonopah. This is Main Street, and then you have a lot of history within 2-3 blocks on the east and west side of Tonopah, and then when it curves the north and the south side. Town's built in this valley surrounded by some pretty steep mountainous terrain. Therefore, it gets quite cold here in the winter and snowy. Winters are brutal. We're staying at this hotel. It's a Jim Butler Hotel right here and next to the Mizpah. You know, I thought it was a nice hotel. It's historic, but the lady's watching TV, our television in our room don't work, the heat don't work. One was kind of rude. I don't know. You know, I just don't get a friendly vibe from the place. There was a guy a couple blocks from here. I don't know if he was cracked out, meth. I have no idea. But the individual started to pee in front of me. And I was in the middle of starting a film, and I had to shut it off and walk a couple blocks just to near the post office and get on Main Street, because I'm telling you, these streets, this is a creepy town, and these back streets that you see here, there's within 2 blocks on the northeast and west side of town, anything within 2 blocks of Main Street has a lot of history. Most of the houses within 2 blocks are 100 years old. A lot of them are abandoned and fenced off. There's a lot of cops, a lot of undercover, so me going in any abandoned place is probably not going to happen unless I have access to them. And there will be places I have access to Sunday that are abandoned I can go in, and there's other places, like I said, I mean, they will throw you in the slammer. This is the Wild West here. I've gotten 2 tickets. I've seen undercovers. Last 2 times I've been here, I've gotten tickets for going 5-10 over. Very strict law enforcement here. Except when people come out on the sidewalk and start pissing in front of you, that's acceptable. So I had to come down here and just let everyone know. Let everyone know I've arrived. There's a lot of mining history. You can see the head frame. It's the original mining claim up on that hill, which we'll be investigating Sunday. We have an investigation around some of the old mines and mills. That's the meat of the town, is the mining. That's where the camp began. And of course, Main Street. But a little bit of history. Jim Butler discovered silver at Tonopah Springs in about 1900. Yes, this was a late blooming ghost town. It's the post office. This was a late blooming ghost town. Prospectors formed the town of Butler, which eventually was named after Tonopah Springs, but by 1902 the town was booming with over 3,000 residents. As many as 25,000 people lived here to 50,000. And then what happened was the mining was depleted, and it dropped down to a couple thousand people here. A lot of it, like this building here that you see, it's abandoned. You see it? Maybe an old hotel, but it's abandoned. Butler built its first post office, which obviously this one is newer, and in 1905 the city was renamed to Tonopah. Tonopah's boom years ended around the Great Depression. By 1947 the mines had closed, the railroad had folded, which ran to Las Vegas and Goldfield and Rhyolite, other locations that we've investigated or visited in our journey, so we can kind of connect everything. But 150 million in silver was mined in Tonopah. And it's funny how silver was discovered. One of Jim Butler's animals had wandered off during the night and sought shelter near a rock outcropping, and when Butler located the burrow the next morning, he picked up a rock to throw it at the animal and noticed the rock had some silver alloy in it. You know, basically he realized that the rock was heavy, and then that led to the second richest strike in Nevada history. And some of the mines that are found here are the wealthiest in the world. Silver, you know, and this town had a lot of disasters, tragedies, booms, anything typical of a mining town. And some people say it's 1,200. There was a sign that said 2,500. I don't know. I went here and ate at the family pizza restaurant. It was pretty good, loaded with toppings. It's a pretty wholesome town, but it's creepy. And so we'll definitely give you a lot more history. There's a whole book on this ghost town. A whole book. And you know what? We'll cover a lot of it. We'll cover the major key points on our site and between our videos and exploration. But at one time, when they first found this blue rock, bluish color rock, they were using the rock to create the streets of Tonopah, and then they realized that they were lining the streets with silver. I was told this by an old timer. The streets used to be silver in Tonopah because they didn't know any better. They didn't know it was silver back in the day. They really didn't. A lot of miners were just not educated in mining. So they figured, oh, this is useless rock. It's just a lot of funny stories, a lot of ghost stories. In this place, we're going to reveal all its secrets in the next couple days to come. As I was saying, I'm staying at this little hotel next to the Mizpah. I probably should have said the Mizpah. It is a renowned haunted hotel. But I just couldn't believe nothing works. The heat's not working. The TV's not working. The ladies was like, can I help you? She was all rude because she's busy watching TV in the office. They said they have a buffet. There's like a little tiny table in there with like coffee on it. You know, a breakfast buffet. So it's looking a little dismal right now. Probably should have stayed at a different hotel. But, you know, it's haunted. The Butler Hotel's haunted. It's historic. And it's named after where it's right next to the claim where the founder of this town had discovered silver. So the hotel's named after him. Of course, keep in mind, some of these buildings, before they were built, there was mines and other businesses. Like the old post office that probably closed, or not closed, but a lot of buildings burnt down, and there's winds and tragedy. They would just rebuild them and make finer, more prestigious buildings like this post office you see here. And hence the days of the, back in the Wild West, one hotel and saloon burned down, you just built a greater one. And so all these properties that you see, there was miners camping and wooden stores at one time. Everything was wood downtown. All these buildings were wood. Back in 1910 and 1915 and 1920, they started building these brick and stone buildings that you see around town. I've seen a lot of brick buildings, a lot of stone, a lot of wood buildings are dilapidated, rotted. They just can't handle the elements, or they've burnt down. But that Main Street, it's all preserved, and all these buildings are made of bricks and stone, making it one of the most preserved semi-ghost towns in the state of Nevada. Also one of the most haunted. But I'm out of here. We'll do more filming and photography in the next day or two as we slowly unmask haunted Tonopah. Tomorrow we'll head to Belmont, which is also another ghost town near here. And they call it, its original name was Transylvania, to kind of lure in miners. Just the name alone, it's like, whoa, Transylvania. Peace out. This is Lord Rick. More history, ghost, haunts, adventures coming to you soon. Check us out, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. It's midnight in Tonopah. Very chilly, very cold. And we're just walking dark alleyways.